Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Bold and beautiful Sheila just signed her own death warrant plus, the rewrite that's total bull. This week's episodes of Bold and Beautiful were a mixed bag. On the one hand, the Zen/Luna/R.J. story went from bad to worse. On the other, the show seemed to set in motion a story we'd been anxiously anticipating pretty much since the day Sheila crashed Finn and Steffi's wedding. Read on, and we'll talk about both storylines, one with dread, the other with excitement. We spent a lot of time last week talking about all the things that were wrong with the Luna storyline. This week was actually kinda worse. Why? Because the show decided to try and have its cake and eat it, too. After making Zend an accidental rapist, the writers doubled down by completely rewriting history and claiming that he'd been in love with her from the start. Yeah, no. That ain't how it played out. Sure, we've seen indications that Zend was interested in Luna, but only as a way of seeking revenge against RJ. She rejected him numerous times, and it was quite obvious that his pursuits had nothing to do with romance. It's bad enough that this storyline is a retread of one Bold and Beautiful has told repeatedly over the years. But the dialogue is downright ludicrous. This is a soap that over the past couple years has developed a very, very bad habit of endlessly repeating the same words and phrases. It's as if the scribes think we'll forget unless we're reminded in every single scene what's being discussed. The latest? Special mints. I lost track of how many times those two words were uttered, always together, always with a certain tone of disgust. In an age when TV viewers are accustomed to shows ranging from Law and Order to Euphoria are exploring drug-related issues in a mature and topical way, Bold and Beautiful has, as it tends to do with most topics, treated them with a 1950s mentality. Drugs equals bad, period. Poppy taking special mints, as opposed to drinking, which she has explained repeatedly, means she must be punished, in this case by having something awful happen to her daughter. Okay, to be honest, I've used that headline, The Last of Sheila, more than once in this column over the past few years. Some of you may know that it's a reference to a pretty fantastic 1973 movie for which you can watch the trailer below, in which a woman named, you guessed it, is killed. I've been predicting a Sheila-centric murder mystery for ages, and it finally looks as if we're going to get it. Oh, sure, Friday's episode ended with Finn's mad mommy lurking in the bushes and declaring, "Steffi Forrester, tonight you die." But don't be fooled. Sheila is not going to kill Steffi. I think we all know that. But I'm willing to bet she'll give it the old college try. Already, half of the cast is wandering around talking about how much better they'd all be if Sheila was 6 feet under. Thomas is vowing to protect Hope. Liam wants to protect Steffi. Finn, well, he's still a little wishy-washy at the moment, but another attempt on his wife's life might finally put him in the "okay, my mom's gotta die" camp. Do I think Sheila's going to be really, most sincerely dead? I kinda doubt it, because it seems unlikely that anyone at CBS would want to do away with the iconic character. But I suspect they'll find a way to do a murder mystery anyway. And I'm 100% here for it. Have a long and storied history of doing amazing, fun-filled murder mysteries. My all-time favorite soap, The Edge of Night, did one nearly every year, as does the English suds or EastEnders. Now, Bold and Beautiful has all the pieces in place to do something very fun. And unless I miss my mark, this mystery person whom Sheila has been slipping off to meet will play a big role in what's to come. My prediction, Steffi will, of course, stand accused. Liam will work hard to prove her innocence, hoping that will secure him a place in her life. Heck, maybe Bill will rediscover his long-buried feelings for Steffi and join the hunt for Sheila's true killer. Pop the corn and let's have some fun for a change. Are there any characters on Daytime more hypocritical than those on this show? I mean, there stood Hope, unironically taking Sheila to task for making the "I've changed" speech, saying she'd heard it from many people over the years. You mean like your dad, Deacon, and your boyfriend, Thomas? Both of whom you've accepted as change. How cold was it for Deacon to basically say, "Yeah, I'm not marrying you," and then turn around and ask Sheila to work an extra shift? Shouldn't Steffi have maybe warned Lucy about Sheila? Maybe said, "Hey, this is a picture of the woman terrorizing my family. Oh, and she works at Il Giardino, so definitely don't go there." Obviously, Steffi has good reason to want to keep Sheila away from her family. But you had to be at least a little bit Team Sheila when Steffi barged in and started railing on Sheila as if it was her fault that Lucy had brought the kids there. In the opulent world of the Forrester family, where passions run as deep as the ocean and betrayals cut like a double-edged sword, there exists a woman whose name strikes fear into the hearts of those who dare to cross her path. Sheila Carter, a force of nature wrapped in a veneer of beauty and charm, has long been a thorn in the side of the Forrester clan. But little did she know, with one fateful decision, she had just signed her own death warrant. The morning sun cast a golden hue over the sprawling estate of the Forrester family, illuminating the lush gardens and elegant facade of the mansion. Inside, tension simmered beneath the surface as Sheila sat in the dimly lit living room, her emerald eyes glittering with a dangerous intensity. She had always been a master manipulator, weaving intricate webs of deceit to get what she wanted. But today, she had overplayed her hand. For years, Sheila had plotted and schemed to destroy the lives of the Forrester family, driven by a burning desire for revenge. She had infiltrated their inner circle, worming her way into their lives with calculated precision. But her latest scheme had gone too far. With her own daughter caught in the crossfire, Sheila had pushed her luck too thin. As she sat alone in the silence of the room, a sense of foreboding washed over her like a tidal wave. She knew that her actions had consequences, but she had never imagined they would lead to her downfall. With a trembling hand, she reached for the glass of champagne sitting on the coffee table, her mind racing with thoughts of what was to come. Meanwhile, across town, a different scene was unfolding. The Forrester family gathered in the luxurious boardroom of their fashion empire, their faces etched with determination. They had faced countless challenges over the years, but none quite like this. Sheila had always been a formidable opponent, but they refused to let her destroy everything they had worked so hard to build. As the meeting wore on, plans were set into motion to bring Sheila to justice once and for all. Legal experts were consulted, evidence was gathered, and alliances were forged. The Forrester family may have been divided at times, but when it came to protecting their own, they were united in their resolve. Back at the mansion, Sheila paced the floor restlessly, her mind racing with fear and uncertainty. She knew that her time was running out, that the walls were closing in around her. But even in the face of imminent danger, she refused to back down. She had come too far to turn back now. Just as she was about to give in to despair, a knock sounded at the door, causing her heart to skip a beat. With trembling hands, she made her way to the entrance, her breath catching in her throat as she turned the handle. Standing before her was none other than Eric Forrester himself, his steely gaze boring into her soul. "We need to talk," he said, his voice cold and unwavering. Sheila felt a chill run down her spine as she realized the gravity of the situation. This was it. The moment of reckoning she had been dreading had finally arrived. As they sat face to face, the air thick with tension, Eric laid out the evidence against her with chilling precision. Every lie, every manipulation, every betrayal laid bare for all to see. Sheila listened in silence, her heart sinking with each damning revelation. But even in the face of overwhelming evidence, she refused to go down without a fight. With fire in her eyes, she lashed out with all the venom of a wounded serpent, hurling accusations and insults with reckless abandon. But her words fell on deaf ears as Eric stood firm in his resolve. Sheila paced the floor restlessly, her mind racing with fear and uncertainty. She knew that her time was running out, that the walls were closing in around her. But even in the face of imminent danger, she refused to back down. She had come too far to turn back now. Just as she was about to give in to despair, a knock sounded at the door, causing her heart to skip a beat. With trembling hands, she made her way to the entrance, her breath catching in her throat as she turned the handle. Standing before her was none other than Eric Forrester himself, his steely gaze boring into her soul.